Hey guys, welcome to The Void. And if you have no idea who I am, I don't blame you. I am not the most consistent content creator, at all. This video is something that I've wanted to make for a while, but it's taken so much of me to actually get through with it. This is my third attempt, so hopefully it actually works out this time. Just so everyone's aware, this is a video about my mental health and disorders and illnesses and all that stuff. If you struggle with any of that and you are uncomfortable with this topic or thinking about it outside of therapy sessions or whatnot, whatever the case is, if you don't want to watch this video, don't feel like you have to. I don't want people to feel uncomfortable watching my content, especially this one, because the point of this video is to express myself. A lot of my friends are unaware of the mental health issues. Calling them issues makes them sound bad. In general, they don't really know much about it. I didn't really feel comfortable telling people. I didn't want whatever I go through to end up looking like an excuse or a description of who I am. I want to be understood. I want the way people feel about me to not come from general impressions, but from a place of knowing, basically. Before I say anything else, I do need to put the disclaimer that I'm not okay with anyone taking my video and using it as any kind of evidence or proof or self-diagnosis for themselves. I need to stress that. Please do not take this video and use it as the only form of information. Don't use it as a form of information for your own medical experiences. Speak to a professional for that. You can let this video or even the topic or whatever I'm saying in this open a conversation up with trusted family members or, a therapist. But yeah, this video is about my experience. So if you relate, that's awesome. No, I mean, it's not awesome, but it's good to know I'm not alone, Let's get into the thick of it. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Let's start from the beginning. When I was born, well, probably not from the moment I left the womb, but when I was younger, like a tot, just a tiny thing, I was diagnosed with ADHD, which everyone has. Just gonna get that out there. Everybody has a form of it. Just gonna leave that as a blanket statement. Took medicine for my ADHD when I was younger, but eventually my mom and I decided, yeah, I'm good, I'm chill, I don't need to take these anymore. I'm not sure if it was around that time or before that or after it, but I was also diagnosed with ODD, which in basic terms is bad kid, don't want to listen to authority. I can read the definition out to you, but I swear that's what it really is. A disorder in a child marked by defiant and disobedient behavior to authority figures. Bad kid don't like authority. Basically, ODD is one of those safety nets that they give to kids or people who are younger than 17, 18 who can't be diagnosed with things like borderline or why did I forget everything else? Borderline or bipolar or the likes. And by the likes, I mean big titles, not like everything's the same. It's not customary, at least, to diagnose people under those ages just because they aren't done developing mentally. So I'm pretty sure ODD is just one of those things where they can throw at them and be like, they'll eventually have deeper issues. But for now, they're just really defiant and don't like authority. That wasn't just it. In fact, ODD didn't explain a lot of what I was going through or what I was feeling or the situations I was ending up in. The relationship with my mom was not great, and the relationship with my friends didn't even really feel real. I had a lot of internet friends, and those friendships felt more real than the ones I had in real life. Not because they were better people or whatever the case is. It's just I didn't really know who I was in person. I didn't really understand what I was looking at in the mirror. let alone who I was looking at in the mirror. I should give you a definition of borderline personality disorder before we continue, just so that it's understood what I'm talking about and I'm not just saying something. Borderline is often confused or mistakenly diagnosed as bipolar disorder, probably because they're like sisters, but they aren't the same. And so it's important that I do stress the specifics before I talk about my own experiences with them. And don't worry, it's not going to be long, because I would like to keep this a little vague so none of my business is really spread out there. I would just like people's first impression of me to be an honest one, to be one that explains some things that you may see. I'm going to mentalhealth.gov for all this information, by the way. Not that you could see that, but I feel like this is the best website I could read off of, because I don't want to have all the facts coming from me. I am not a doctor, and I don't want to pretend like I know word for word how it's defined. It is defined as a mental health condition in which a person has long-term patterns of unstable or turbulent emotions. These inner experiences often result in impulsive actions and chaotic relationships with other people. So that's the simple way of putting it. It's a basic definition, right? And I had none of those words to put to what I was actually feeling. And ODD wasn't it, basically, to bring it full circle. Went to a couple therapists, and they didn't really work out. Nothing against the first two. I just didn't really vibe with them. And so the third one seemed to have worked for a while. And that person diagnosed me with BPD. She wanted to do a few tests on me a couple of sessions in, and it came out pretty obvious to her. She talked it over with some people just to get some yes, yes. You know, whatever doctors do after they look over your tests. They gave me the grade BPD, so I got to put that on my fridge. It's a really bad joke. However, being diagnosed didn't mean I was medicated. My family wasn't really raised to do anything with their mental health like that, and so mine did go untreated for a while until I had a huge breakdown at 19. It's not funny, but it's also a little bit like, I wonder why. I wonder why. But after a short trip to a terrible New York psych ward, hey, don't take people there. No one took me there. I was taken by force because the NYPD sucks. I'm fine. I wasn't at the time, but that's years ago. I'm 22 now. I'm okay. Once out of captivity, I was able to get in touch with a psychiatrist and worked out some medications because I also have depression and anxiety. Those go hand in hand with BPD though, so I didn't think it was necessary to bring that up first. Go through the symptoms in a second just so that it's clear and I can express what I feel towards them and how I actually experience them. This is not to teach you about borderline. This is to teach you about my experience in the most vague way possible, because obviously there's information that I don't tell people normally, but if I'm going to be posting on here and if I'm going to be myself, I have to admit to something that's going to be a part of my personality, you know, the disorder part of it. I started doing therapy, and then for the first time ever, I started to understand what the hell I was thinking. I was so happy I could finally understand what was going on up there, which a lot, by the way, too much. I have a lot to work on still, but this is probably the best I've ever been in my life. And that's saying a lot because I'm not exactly thriving, you know? I'm not living lavishly. I'm just kind of living. I'm just kind of hanging out. Aside from having depression and anxiety, which comes, like I said, hand in hand with BPD, my specific anxiety is more social, not I'm not going to go into the specifics other than that. But just so you know, that is where I am at. I have real bad social anxiety. Real bad. Other known factors, that's how I'm going to phrase it, because they call them symptoms, which just reminds me of a cold or something. And if that is how we see it, then I just have a permanent head cold, which I fully agree with. I could describe it in some simpler words. They probably wouldn't be the most flattering towards BPD because, I have a bias. I'm not friends with BPD. She kind of annoys me. She's rude. I think it is important that you get the .gov's explanation / definition of it. They probably know best. They say that... Alright. Persons with BPD are often uncertain about their identity, which... big one for me. Not understanding what my purpose is other than to be there for others, and that's just like not healthy. It's a big part of not really understanding who I'm supposed to be, and that's, identity. Interest and values can change rapidly. Yeah. For example, I don't have a specific genre or topic for this channel because I cannot decide on what I actually want to do. I like to do a lot of things, and I like to talk while I do everything, so it's kind of hard to decide what I'd like to share with people. So I decided not to decide, and that seems to be a lot easier for me. Hopefully the idea of, he's just built that way helps you understand. My interests change so rapidly, I just kicked a box. I can be so invested in something and then the next day lose complete interest in it. Being able to capture that emotion and that passion in the moment is the reason I want to be on YouTube. I can share that moment of control that I had over the emotion I was feeling and what I could create with that, because it is me. It's just sometimes I can't fully figure out where I want to be. Let's just keep reading. They also tend to view things in terms of extremes, like all good or all bad. Hopefully that way of thinking does not get in the way of any of my opinions that I share with you guys, because my overall hope is for people to give things a second chance, and sometimes even if I feel like they don't deserve them, I'm wrong. So views of people can change quickly. A person could be looked up to and then immediately looked down upon, apparently. I don't really feel that. I have to have a reason to dislike people, so luckily for all my friends, I don't just look up to them and then immediately stop because they're not providing for me anymore or doing me justice. Intense fear of being abandoned and cannot tolerate being abandoned, which are two different things. Being alone is like when my girlfriend's away for 2 days and I'm like, dang, really wish that girl could be here so I can be all up on that thing. Like hugging her. Fear of abandonment is like knowing or feeling like that someone could just leave or walk out of your life and not need to come back or just never give an explanation. It's just the idea that people are capable of just walking away like you don't matter. And that fear, it's a huge part of the things I do. And it could either lead me to doing everything for a person or deciding that person's not worth anything. Frequent feelings of emptiness and boredom. That's fun, but I'm being sarcastic. I feel like a lot of people can relate to the feeling of emptiness and boredom, but not just like, dang, there's nothing to do. Like boredom as in, dang, there's nothing to do. But in my life, I have so many things in front of me, but I can't get up and do them because I'm bored. There's a lot more to BPD, especially for each person individually, but it is up to you to do that specific research if you'd like. I am not comfortable sharing every aspect of my disorder with you. In a nutshell, which I don't really know where that phrase comes from, I just know that's what I'm going to use here. I've got things going on, but I do want to make content. It's just that my own head gets in the way sometimes. It makes me feel like I'm not capable of making good content. And then I go to make content and I'm like, God, no one's going to watch this. And you know what? Maybe no one will. And I need to get over that. And that's fine. I have the equipment. I've had it for years. I need to use it. I need to do it now because this is when I want to do it. I can't force myself to be someone else. And I don't know if you could tell in those other videos, I kind of was. This is the first time I've actually been me on camera. And I'm not sure why it took me this long to get to this point. But I'm really happy I'm here. And I can't wait to keep making videos from this point of view. I think being free and honest with the fact that I'm not just a face, that there's way more to me, and most of it struggling, frees me up from a lot of doubt and judgment I was holding against myself. I'm happy that I could finally say it and know that it doesn't matter who sees it or how many people see it. I said it. I'm owning it. I feel really good getting this out. This smile is genuine. I started off this video so nervous, and each time I did the video over, I was so nervous, and I don't know why. I mean, I do, but I have no idea why I'm here now. I'm grateful, though. I feel good. I feel real good. I'm gonna go edit this video now. Well, not now. Not right now. I need to close out the video first. But if you are still watching, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you do stick around because I have so many things going on in this wild brain. There's so much, okay? So many irons are in the fire right now. You have no idea how many irons. There are so many irons. I'm so excited to be me on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I'm coming out again. I'm gonna name this video something dramatic now, because the last time I did a big video, it was named something dramatic. It was on my old YouTube account. If you go back and watch it, I don't like you. How dare you? That's mean. Don't do that to me. Come on now. I was like 15. Don't do that to me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to, you can like and subscribe or whatever. It's not like a big deal. I won't be upset if you don't. Don't feel pressured. It's fine. My last video, I said, don't get lost on the way out, and I did a little thing, because I was like, oh, we're in the void, but that's kind of lame, so I'm just gonna say, bye. That's it, it's done. We're done. I'm done. I finished. I swear to God, if that didn't record, I'd be so mad. I'd be so angry.